Welcome and welcome to the present. Let's turn down the background music. How are we doing this beautiful Monday morning on this side of the world? Guys, please do me that kind favor. Strike the like button. Very, very important. Let's make sure the sound is great. Yep. Strike the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Very, very important. One more time for those at the back who came the first time. Please strike the like button. Very, very important. If you're watching the playback, please do that by striking the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and make sure you turn on your notification. We have a lot to discuss today on this live stream. So we're going to discuss Trossard. I'm sure you guys have seen the rumors. Saudi club bidding for Trossard, which we've rejected swiftly, which is fine. According to David, right there, Arsenal turned down Etihad verbal offer for Leandro Trossard yesterday. Loan 5 million plus buy obligation 20 to 25 million euros. Informal bid. Arsenal make clear not for sale. Long-term deal, key part of squad, no chance to replace. Exactly. Why? These guys can see, as much as the Saudi can offer all kinds of money, we're not a selling club. We are not a selling club. Why we sell, Trossard at this point in the season is barely 3 games. We can't even replace him. Like, even to go to the market to get a replacement is tough, but somehow they have the audacity to try and lure our player as soon as the transfer window has closed. And they think we'll entertain it. Even Trossard is not actually interested based on the reports we are getting. Nick Fadi, shout out to you. Big up to you too. Make sure you like the video. Very, very important. Shout out to you too. So when I saw the bid, even before David came out to actually report the fact that Arsenal has rejected it, it didn't make no sense. There is no way Arsenal will sell a player as important as Trossard. I understand he might not be a starter all the time, but for me, he's the 12th player on the squad. He's the first player we need to bring on when things are not going great. So I do not understand. Shout out to Mr. Efosa. How are you doing? So I do not understand the audacity, in my personal opinion, that the Saudis will actually try. Mr. Efosa, I've just seen your text. I will send you the link right now. I do not understand the audacity why they will try to actually lure our player. We are not a selling club. We don't need to sell Trossard. He's on a healthy long-term contract. It's part and parcel of the plan, right? Some Arsenal fans will argue, including myself, that we're a little bit short in attacking personnel in terms of numbers, but somehow they think they can lure our player. That must be very interesting. That must be very, very interesting. So, as much as the offer could be tempting, there are reports that Trossard himself is not even interested in the offer. He's not interested in going to Saudi, so they can keep their money. Even though if Trossard was interested, we are not a selling club. We are not willing to sell. We are not willing to sell. Mr. Foss about to send you the link right now. So we're not willing to sell. So they can keep their money. We don't need to sell our players. So, guys, I'm sure some Arsenal fans were panicking regarding the fact that, the Saudi can lure our player. They can't. Even though if Trossard Paraventure was kind of interested in the move, he has a long-term contract with Arsenal. We're not going to sell. We're not going to entertain it. We are not going to entertain that kind of offer, especially if we cannot even replace it. Even to replace Trossard right now will cost you more than whatever. Let me look at the offer again. Let's look at the offer. They are offering 5 million euros, not even pounds. 5 million euros. Let me respond to this text message real quick. Please pardon me. 5 million euros for loan. We are supposed to loan our key player to Saudi. This is a joke. Then buy obligation of 20 to 25 million euros, not even pounds. This must be sickening. This must be a joke from Saudi. This must be a joke. And there are reports from the likes of James Bench and some other reporters. Trossard himself is not even interested in going to Saudi at this moment in his career. So they can keep their money. They can keep their money. So there's no need for Arsenal fans to go exterior. I get overly excited and get disgruntled. Trossard is part of our plans. Trossard is staying at the Emirates. He loves this year. He's not going to drop a first. He's not trying to push for a move. So the Saudi guys can keep their money. Trossard is not remotely interested in going to Saudi not at this moment in his career. Maybe in the next few years, it could that could change. Even maybe it could change next summer. But right now, Lisandro Trossard is not interested in going to Saudi. So we have like 10 guys in the building. Guys, do me that kind of favor. Please like the video. Very, very important for the channel. Very, very important for the algorithm. Please like the video. Don't take more than 2 seconds to like the video. Just that thumbs up button. Just tap it. Like the video. And make sure if you're new here, you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. And I appreciate that. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell. Very, very important. So let's leave the Trossard story for now. And let's look at, give me a moment. I'm sure you guys have seen some of the stories. So I'm sure you guys watched the match at the weekend. And I've seen some characters trying to say Gabriel has been clumsy. Gabriel has been very suspicious. Maybe it's time to bring Calofiro. What do you guys think? Do you think it's time to bring in Calofiro for Gabriel? I am not going to deny the fact. Objectively, Gabriel can be sometimes clumsy. That's just the fact. As much as I love Gabriel, I have my biases towards Gabriel. I can still be truthful. Gabriel is that defender that on the ball, he is not as smooth sailing as William Saliba. Can we agree to that? When it comes on the ball, he's a little bit not smooth on the ball the way Saliba can be smooth on the ball, even Calafrio is smooth on the ball. But at the same time, Gabriel, when it comes to the act of defending, is a solid defender. And it's unfair that sometimes we overly exaggerate the fact that Gabriel is being clumsy. We've seen Saliba make mistakes, right? Let's not pretend we have not seen Saliba concede penalties. It's not much, it's not very often, but we've seen Saliba sometimes concede penalties, be clumsy on the ball. But our biases towards Saliba makes us be more lenient, give more grace to Saliba than Gabriel. So people saying that, oh, it's time to bring in Calofrio was a new shining toy to replace Gabriel for now because Gabriel had been clumsy. He was a little bit clumsy against Aston Villa, even though we're not punished. It was a little bit culpable for the goal, for the equalizer for Brighton. I think it's a bit too harsh. It's a bit too harsh. Guys, let's not do that. It's a bit too harsh. I understand and accept Gabriel can be very flimsy sometimes, but it is not time to replace him. When it comes to center half defending, you need partnership. As much as we've not tried Calofiro there, even though he has the traits to be a fantastic center half, doesn't guarantee that he will have a fantastic partnership with Saliba. Just because you can defend individually doesn't mean you have a fantastic partnership with somebody else. So I think we are overly reacting to the fact that we drew against Brighton. It's a disappointing result, and I agree 100% it's a disappointing result. But for some reason, we are actually overly micro-analyzing the game. Brighton are a good side. Brighton will take points from the big teams. Let's not pretend that Brighton are a small side. Aston Villa are a good side too. So, and they will take points from the big team. Let's not overly analyze and micro-analyze these things. All defenders are clumsy. We saw the mistake made at the weekend by Ruben Dias. But just because Manchester City won the game against West Ham, nobody's talking about it. If we had won the game against Brighton, nobody's saying, oh, Gabriel was clumsy, or Gabriel has to be looked at. I'm not saying Gabriel doesn't have to be looked at. And I wish you can cut out that thing, those little loss of concentration, those little things out of his game. But Gabriel is still a top-class center half. If we made Gabriel available in the market, top teams will actually come and get Gabriel from us. So let's not do that, right? And it's funny that we easily forgive Saliba when he makes his own mistake. But when it comes to Gabriel, because of he doesn't look too nice on the eye, he doesn't have the aesthetic of Saliba, we are going to overly exaggerate the clumsiness and the flimsiness of Gabriel, which we should not be doing so. He's our player, and I say I accept and I acknowledge that sometimes Gabriel will be getting on my nerves, especially when he has too much time on the ball. Gabriel is that defender. When he has too much time on the ball, it becomes a bit jittery. So, but Saliba is more reserved. Saliba is more clean on the ball, more clean on the eye. So I get it, but doesn't mean Gabriel is a horrible defender. He is not. He's a very, very capable defender, and we have to keep him. Now, I'm looking at the league table right now. If you look at the league table, let me see. Maybe I should have put a slide on the screen. My bad for that. If you look at the league table right now, right? Man City are first with 3 games played, 9 points with 7+7 goal difference. Shout out to them. Liverpool are second, 3 games played, 9 points plus 7 goal difference. Brighton are third, the 3 games played, 7 points plus 4 goal difference. Arsenal are fourth, 3 games played plus 4 goal difference, 7 points. Newcastle are fifth, 3 games played, 7 points plus 2 goals difference. So I do not understand why we are getting overly excited and angry. I wanted us to win the game on Saturday against Brighton. We all wanted to win that game. We can understand the mitigating circumstances that led us not to win, to have all the 3 points. Chris Kavanagh decided to be the man of the moment. He wanted all the clout. He wanted all the notoriety. He wanted to be the headliner of the game. And this man right here destroyed the game. Yes, like I said on Saturday, Rice made it easy for him to actually destroy the game. Rice should have touched the ball, which he acknowledged. But this man here, we know the English referees are not going to be held accountable. The most accountability the PGMOL might actually met out on this guy will be go and referee in the championship for 2 weeks and we'll back in Premier League. These referees are not held accountable. These referees are not punished duly. So they will continue to acting crazy until the English FA and the PGMO become very tough on these players. These referees, they will continue to misbehave. It is what it is. That's just the fact. These referees are not held accountable. They feel they are above and beyond, and they continue to be stars of the game. They want to be talked about. These referees are bored. They want to be part of the conversation. And for Arsenal fans, as much as we can be disappointed about not getting the full 3 points on Saturday, let's not really react. I'm hearing narratives like Man City have won the league. We can't afford to actually lose points. I get the concept you can't afford to lose points against Brighton at home. I understand it. But Man City ain't going unbeaten. Man City ain't going unbeaten. So why act now and say Man City are going to win all the 38 games? That's not going to happen. So let's calm down. Let's not exaggerate what's going on. Nick Fadi said Arsenal do not look brilliant like last season so far. What's scary is that Man City look like they're already sprinting. They normally start slow. Oh, I see your point, but I disagree a little bit. Arsenal do not look brilliant. If you look at the beginning of last season, don't forget we were playing some of formation we're trying to grapple with, and we didn't look brilliant from the beginning. Yes, if you cast your mind back to last season, we did not look brilliant from the start. Remember, Gabriel Gamales was on the bench. He was playing Partey as a right back. So we did not start brilliantly last season. So, and for me, it's not how you start, it's how you end. 2 seasons ago, we started brilliantly and we fizzled out and we tired out. And we learned from that. And last season, we started a bit slowly and we ended strongly. Unfortunately, we lost the league to Man City with 2 points, but we ended very strong. So I'd rather start a bit slow and end strongly than start very strong and end slowly. So depending on what you think. Man City looking scary at this point. I think guys are exaggerating it. I think guys are really exaggerating it. Like if you technically look at our fixture list, right? We've played Wolves. Wolves the first game. They do not be fooled by the fact that Wolves lost to Chelsea by was it 6-2 when their left back had a man in the second half. Wolves are a very good team. We played Wolves. We played Aston Villa and a Brighton. For me, we had a much more difficult start than Man City. Man City played Ipswich, West Ham, and Chelsea. And see, Chelsea in the name is fantastic, but Chelsea in terms of what they display on the pitch is not that strong. So I will argue with a lot of people that we actually had a more difficult start than Manchester City. Let's see how Manchester City we're going to deal with Brighton. Let's see how Manchester City are going to deal with Aston Villa. So I'll say, even though it looks like based on the academics of it, Man City, 3 games, 9 points, they are flying, they are scoring goals. I understand that. But on the flip side, they have asked, quote unquote, a relatively easier fixture in comparison to our fixture. So I would not say Man City are already sprinting, but I understand what you're trying to say and I understand the context. So for me, it's just 3 games. Let's not overly exaggerate it. It is just 3 games, right? So there are more games to go. Let's not overly exaggerate it. I understand we should be disappointed as much as Brighton were a good side. We should be beating them. We have superior players, but Brighton have good players. I'll say people we're a bit defensive. No, we're not a defensive. We're just smart. Brighton have good players that they can actually beat our press and we can get exposed. We have to stop this narrative or Brighton, all these other quote unquote Aston Villas, unbeatable teams. No, these clubs, right? They have good players these days. We are seeing likes of Chelsea, Man City, even us now buy players from this team that we are calling smaller teams. Grella used to play for Brighton. Caicedo used to play for Brighton. McAllister used to play for Brighton. So why acting as if these clubs don't have good players? If the bigger clubs are taking certain quality of players from this team. So the Premier League is not the Premier League of 10 years ago where the disparity between the smaller teams, so-called smaller teams, and the big teams was gaping. No, there is a much more closer proximity in terms of quality. These so-called smaller teams can afford to buy quality players. The English Premiership is a top league, is a rich league that if you take your eyes off the ball, you can be beaten anytime. So Brighton, even though we are looking, let's look at Joao Pedro at the weekend. Joao Pedro had a good game against us. That's a Brighton player. I will take him in my team. Liverpool will take Joao Pedro in their team. Even Manchester City will take Joao Pedro in their team. They have a very good team. So let's not act as if Brighton are some bunch of scrubs. Brighton are not Ipswich. They have very, very good players. And if you overcommit, they'll beat your press. And the scores, see, there was a good chance we would have lost the game at the weekend. There are some good chances that they didn't convert. That you can argue on the flip side, Kai Havertz and Saka have some good chances for us to win it. But the fact that we played with 10 men for 45 minutes against a very good Brighton team that have ball-playing midfielders and players made it difficult. So when we're having these conversations, right, let us put the context and the perspective of these conversations. Let's not make it seem as if Brighton are one small team that we can just roll over and stampede. No, they have good players too. Aston Villa have good players too. They're very good players. So for me, even though Wolves lost to Chelsea in a scandalous way, they have good players. So we need to put things in perspective. We have 7 points out of 9. That is not a bad return. I would have preferred an excellent return like 9 out of 9. That's excellent. Manchester City at the moment have an excellent return. 9 points from 9. Fantastic. But 7 points out of 9, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's excellent, but it's not bad. Let's not do that. Let's overly exaggerate what is not there. Stop falling for all these negativity merchants. I'm not trying to point that, we should have done this. Yes, we should have won. But you didn't win. Move on. Jog on. Move along. You cannot reverse the result anymore. But we can do better in the upcoming games. So we need to calm down. We need to calm down seriously. It's not as bad as a lot of people are making it to seem like. It's not as bad as a lot of people are making it to seem like. And people are attacking Mikel Arteta. He has to win trophies. I agree with that conversation. We are due for trophies, but we are building something sustainable. All this, he doesn't win trophy this season, should we sack him? Okay, I understand that point. But if he wins the trophy, what should we do to people? A lot of you that have been doubting him. This guy came into a club on his knees. We're in the trenches. We're in the gutters. We're in the valley. You have players like Kolasinac, Mustafi, Socrates, Torreira, Guendouzi, an aging Aubameyang, aging Lacazette. This guy came in and has turned the fortunes of the club in collaboration with the Kroenkes and Edu, Richard Garlick. They've turned the fortunes of the club around. You can't be in one breath say Manchester City are a juggernaut of a team. Pep is the best manager. The structure of Manchester City are world class and sometimes can seem insurmountable. But at the same time, You want us just to solve them easily. It takes a lot of strategy, labor, hard work, sometimes a little bit of luck to do that. I'm not saying we should tolerate non-winning trophy. That's not the point. The point is it's going to take a bit of time, and we can see the trajectory of the team. We are approaching that winning of the trophies. I will say very good point. Shout out to you. So, like, I understand those who are saying, what should we do if Ateta misses out again? But on the flip side, if Ateta wins the trophy, we guys come out and say, oh, we are sorry for overly doubting him because he has done a marvelous job. We saw the bad-fated arguments from Manchester United fans telling us, oh, they've had a better season because they won the FA Cup. Even though they had a piss-poor season, -1 goal difference, they had their worst season in the Premier League, their worst return of the Champions League, and they tried to actually subsidize it by winning the FA Cup. And the Manchester United fans were arguing bad faith that had a better season than us. Suddenly, they want to hang out because we all know rationally the measure of success and progress is the league. Now, I'm not saying throw away the cups. The cups will just give you a little bit of a garnish, a little bit of a gloss. But the true measure of sustainability, the true measure of the hard work, of progress or retrogress in your team is the league. We can be shouting, I want to win the Champions League. I want to win the Champions League too. But guess what? How do you measure the success of your team and the progress of your team? It's through the league, 38 games, where luck, you see, you can't be lucky in the league. I'm not saying there's no luck, but the luck will run out. But in terms of the cups, you can get the luck of the run, the luck of the teams that you're going to be playing against. But when it comes to the league, your luck will run out in 38 games. You can't be lucky through 38 games, but you can be lucky within 6 games or 7 games max sometimes. So, as much as we want to win trophy, Arsenal fans, we are due for one, and I agree 100%. We are due for a trophy, but we have to take it softly, right? Especially if you look at where the team is coming from. The team is coming from obscurity. We are coming from the trenches. Right, we've been spending a lot of money. I understand we are shouting we need a striker. Like I said, I do not subscribe to the word of the use of needing a striker because I don't think we need a striker. But can we do with a striker that can, if we can get an available striker that can actually improve on what we have? I'm all down for that. But these scrubs that are being sold for exorbitant fees, no, they don't better than what we have already. If we are going to bring in any player, it should come and supplement what we have, not come and reduce the quality and we cannot sell them because they're not good enough. We can't do that. People conveniently forget this is Arteta's Mikel's first job. Exactly. Now, we shouldn't say because it's first job, we should be overly lenient to him. That's what we are saying. It's his first job and he's doing a tremendous job. Yeah, what he's doing is actually fantastic. No matter how you dice or slice it, he's doing a fantastic job. I get it. He has to actually win something. We're not saying you shouldn't win something, but come on, look at the challenge he's up against. Pep, that has massive structure. Even though when Pep came into Manchester City, he had a formidable team. And he actually supplemented that team. Man had actually won the league before Pep came. And Pep came and added something. When Arteta came to Arsenal, we were in the dumpster fire. We were in the valleys. We were in the trenches. So these conversations are not black and white. Good morning. I'm not for negativity, but results on Saturday is not praiseworthy. We had 6 points last season, but we can only take a maximum of 4. Compared to Villa win, it cost us +3 against 0 of last season. I see. I understand. I'm not saying let's praise the result on Saturday. You are still taking away the fact that we play with 10 men. You are taking the fact that the referee wanted to become a star of that match. And those are things Arteta and the players cannot control. I'm not coming here to praise a 1-1 against Brighton. That's what I'm saying. Don't take that out of context. I'm not saying I'm looking at the mitigating circumstances of Saturday's game. If you do not win it, don't lose it. And we've done that. If I lost that game, most of you will change your mind and say, okay, at least if you're not going to win it, don't lose it. Let's be fair. Nobody's saying, oh, it's hooray, let's be lapping it up. We got a draw against Brighton at home. No, we played with 10 men for 45 minutes against a very good Brighton team. It's just 3 games, 35 games to go. It's 3 games. Let's not be overly disappointed the fact that we didn't win it. And Man City they've not won the league. With all these overly embellishing of Man City have never done unbeaten. Now, if Man City have done unbeaten before, I was like, okay, there's a possibility Man City might go season unbeaten and cannot catch up. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Man City are still going to lose a game. I'm not saying they will lose too many games. That's what I'm saying. Man City will draw and lose some games. We are overly projecting PTSD. And I get the reason why so many Arsenal fans have PTSD. It's been too long we won a trophy. At the same time, we should not overly project. Man City are not this infallible team. Are they a great side? Sure, but they are still gettable. They can be surmounted. So let's not do that. And let's not do that. I do agree. We need a trophy also. So we have to take the cup seriously, and I can see Arteta is going to take this cup seriously this season. It's very imperative. We have to take the cups very, very seriously. As long as we are taking the Premier League season, competitions very highly. At the same time, we cannot relegate. You can't afford it. That's why you're building a squad that has quality that Mikel Arteta trusts the players there. There are some players that he doesn't trust. And you see Mikel Arteta send them on loan or sell them. Now, we have a smaller squad, quote unquote, but with players he trusts. Expect likes of Skelly and Waneri, even Salah to get games. Those players for me are good enough. They're good players, and you see them in the cups. We're going to take every competition. We have to take them very seriously. You can see how we've retained most of our defenders, even to Kivio, who might not see too many games this season. Mikata said, no, we are keeping all these players because we have to take the cups very seriously. We do not have to overly, what would be the right word? Relegate the importance of the FA Cup or the Carling Cup. So we have to do that. I don't know why people are panicking. It's exactly, shout out to Mr. Efosa. Like, it's just game. Mr. Efosa, did you see the link? Let me see. Oh, okay, no problem. I've just seen your text right now. So the truth is that I don't know why people are overly panicking. It's just game 3. 35 more games to go. It's not even even at game 10, I'm not panicking. It's just game 3. It's just the 3rd week of Premier League, and we are overly forgetting. I know it's Manchester City we are competing against, but they've never gone invincible. They've never gone invincible. They are gettable. They're not going to win all their games, so there's no need to panic. What's your thoughts on Liverpool? They were in a race almost to the end, and they look very good this far. I hope the players get something this year. Concentrating on 9 months is no means feat. I think Liverpool are shown. Like, I remember a lot of Liverpool fans and content creators were shouting, "Oh, Liverpool need a 6." That's like the Arsenal fans shouting, "We need a striker." And I was looking at it that this is crazy. This is gaslighting. Liverpool does not need a 6, but can they do with a 6? Yes. We saw Gravenberch play against, even though you can say it's easy to say it's a poor Manchester United side, but a 6 doesn't have to be overly aggressive. And Gravenberch for me played that 6 position very, very well alongside McAllister. Well, yesterday, what were they doing yesterday? Driving the ball, keeping of the ball, moving it left and right, defending and attacking at the same time, knowing when to defend, when to attack, and keeping possession. That's what they did to Manchester United yesterday. And this clearance call by the 9 Liverpool fans are they need a 6, they need to sign players. I've never said you don't need to add to what you have or sign players, but the players have to be of the required quality and standard. Not just sign anybody for the sake of the fans are shouting you need to sign players. This is crazy. You don't just buy something because you need to buy. You just have to buy anything new. You have to buy something that has quality. And for me, Liverpool, whether I would like it or not, they are passively in the title race. I won't say actively, They are passively in the title race. I don't think Manchester United are not part of it. Manchester City and Arsenal are the two favorites. Then Liverpool, you have to keep an eye on Liverpool. They are passively in title race. They look very good, right? Their bench is not bad. Their first 11 is not bad. Don't let the media be gaslighting you, and don't let the content creators who are sitting in bad faith. Oh, we need a 6. We do. No. Liverpool don't need a 6. Will they do well with a good 6 if it's available in the market? Yeah, but they do not need a 6. Just like I said, if he gets a good striker that is better than Kai Havertz, like an Ishak, Arsenal should do it. But just go and buy any striker because the fans are shouting the striker. I don't believe in that nonsense. I do not believe in that nonsense. We're not far from last season. People forget we have the toughest start of any big team. Exactly. People are forgetting we had the toughest start at Manchester City and Liverpool. We do, but they don't look at it from that perspective. What they are concerned about, we drew against Brighton. Man City are leading up with 2 points. Man City have 9 points out of 9. We have 7 out of 9. So the disaster of the start is not 7 over 9 is not excellent, but that's very, very good. 9 over 9 is excellent. 7 over 9 is very good. 6 over 9 is good. 5 over 9 is average. So I don't understand the hysteria that has been shown. Do not, guys, I get it. The PTSD is there. But control, see, it's not for Arsenal to solve your personal PTSD. It is not for Arsenal. Respectfully, it is not for Arsenal to solve your personal PTSD. It is not as horrible as a lot of you are making it seem. It is not. Let's not do that. You're overreacting. You're over-internalizing it. It is. I'm not saying it's an excellent start. 9 over 9 will be the excellent start. That's the yardstick. 9 points out of 9 points, excellent. But 7 over 9 is not even is very good. So let's calm down. We just have to calm down. I know you go to all those channels or panels where they'll be saying triggering stuff that will trigger you emotionally and do not, if you cannot take it, right? See, I understand some of you are triggered by the banters of other channels, but if you cannot take it, don't go there. If you don't have a thick skin, see, football is very tribalistic. Manchester City fans will be trolling now. They'll decide we're going to do it again. They're going to get on their skin. If you don't have a thick skin, don't watch content that will trigger you. But if you have a thick skin, I can put it in different compartments in your brain. Watch it and you can say you can debunk it. When I watch all this content from all these rival fans, even within the Arsenal fan base who are trying to trigger and rile you up, you can look at it and say, nah, this is bullshit. I'm not falling for this. All those standard matchups, we are standard, we should be winning. No, see, no team has the God-given right to win all the time. I'm not saying we shouldn't be winning, but you don't have the God-given right to win all the time. Stop it. Let's stop it. I want you to know if there is no measure to the referee of last week and between Arsenal and Brighton. Sorry, Joseph, I don't understand your message, but I'm trying to figure something out. If there is no measure to the referee of last week. Oh, see, what do you want Arsenal to do to the ref? The referee has already influenced the game. He sent off Declan Rice. There's nothing we can do. It would not be smart for Arsenal to appeal, because if you lose that appeal, you get an extra suspension because it's 2 yellow cards. It's not a straight red. If it's a straight red, maybe Arsenal can risk it to appeal it. 2 yellow cards, if you lose that appeal, you get an extra suspension. So let's just take the punishment. It's unfair, and I expect it's unfair. Let's take the punishment. Miss the North London derby. He'll be back for the Man City game. So there is no need to appeal it. It would be smart for Arsenal not to appeal the 2 yellow card. It is what it is. It's painful. It's hurting. We're going to miss the Declan Rice for the North London derby. It is what it is. We just have to be smart. Let's not compound it because we're emotional. Let's not compound it. Let's not appeal it. There's no need to appeal it. We move on. It is what it is. Man United actually showed themselves in the foot yesterday. All the goals were some mistake, either in the defense or midfield. But who made them make the mistake? Is it this conversation is very nuanced, and you can twist it the other way by logic. Who forced them to make the mistake? By that logic, all goals considered are all mistakes. Yeah, all goals considered are all mistakes. But are they forced errors or self-sabotaging errors? If you ask me, they were nervous about Liverpool. That's why they were actually made those mistakes. So even though Ten Hag wants to twist it, Ten Hag had a way of justifying bollocks to the Manchester United faithful. Ten Hag is one of the most delusional managers I've ever seen. I try to be reasonable with Ten Hag sometimes about saying the fact that some of his players are not good enough, but he signs some of those players or majority of those players, and the fact that he can come and tell us bollocks after what we saw. Like, we are watching the game and he's telling us not. Even Ten Hag even actually sound like a delusional Manchester United fan, telling us, aside from Manchester City, Manchester United have won the most trophies, FA Cup and Carling Cup, which is, I understand him using that as a defense mechanism, but the bread and butter is the league. That's how you are measured by your success in the league. The FA Cup and the Carling Cup prize money is lower than coming second in the league. That's why you can see the CEOs, sporting directors want to do well. They target the top four because of the returns financially. Because those returns financially can help them invest much more into their squad instead of getting trophies. As fans, we want trophies. And it's fair, right? We want the bragging right of trophies. But at the same time, you want our team to be able to invest into the squad. And the FA Cup prize money doesn't provide the financial incentive to invest much into your team, nor the Carling Cup. But the bragging right is great, right? So it's like having status and no money. Which one will you prefer? Status, no money, or money and no status? Depends on you. It depends on you. Anybody acting crazy, guaranteed they follow people who behave the same way. Exactly. I agree with you. There are so many people who are delusional, who are running through some bullshit, and that's on them. I'm not saying we should all come here and say, Arsenal are the greatest team. Because can never be wrong. You will never catch you saying Bicaleta can never be wrong. Definitely, he has made some mistakes here and there, but he had made more good choices with Arsenal than mistakes. And look at the team. We are actually competing. A few years ago, I could remember if I decide to bring back some clip where Arsenal fans shout, even though let's just compete, that's good enough. At that time, now we are competing, and I want to win like yesterday. But I understand you are fighting on your unusual enemy in Manchester City. Manchester City are an unusual enemy. Before we go back or get away from trenches, they've been miles ahead. We are trying to catch up with Manchester City. We know the 115 charges they have, how they are financially doped, allegedly, their squad, and we are trying to catch up. So give Arteta, Richard Garlick, Edu, the Kroenke some grace. Don't tell them, let's go and spend money recklessly with no return. We can't afford to do that. I will not blame those who are already jittery. We finished second. We finished 2 points off City. And look at the games we lost our drill. We could have sealed the deal with just one win from those losses. Yes, we could have done that. But it's just 3 games. And it's a draw. It's just 3 games. Sometimes I want see we've been closing the gap. I just still think we'll win the league this season. Man City are not invincible. They're not invincible. They have their own chink in their armor, but they've started well. Kudos to them. Objectively, Manchester City have started well, and kudos to them. But they are not insurmountable. It's just 3 games. If this was game 25, right? Or game 30, then I can be very concerned. This is game 3. Guys, let's not do that. Like, this is a marathon, not a sprint. This is not a 60 meters dash. This is a 5,000 marathon run. So starting early with all your, I know you say, oh, Manchester City have won the first time. They have the experience. They have the manpower. They have the experience. Yes, the manpower is debatable right now. Kevin De Bruyne, even though he's looking good, does he have the engine for the whole of the season because it's older and the legs are not like before? Bernardo Silva, older, right? They've sold Alvarez. They didn't replace him, even though they brought in Savinho. There's a few chinks in Manchester City's armor, even though the mainstream and the content group telling, yeah, Manchester City, nobody can beat them. They are this, they are that. No, if you analyze with your eyes and look at how their team is, there's a few chinks in their armor, and we can exploit that. Trust me. So Ten Hag will say things to secure his next job. You're right on that. Those trophies are in his CV, and we'll rather speak of those victories than agree. He's currently not getting the best of his player. Exactly, but that's the delusion. You can't be selling snake oil to the fans and delusion to the fans. If fans can afford to be delusional, but when your manager becomes delusional, that is dangerous. Fans can afford it because there's no jeopardy on fans delusional directly on the team. There's no jeopardy on the team directly from the fans. But when the manager becomes delusional, it is scary. That is what Ten Hag is exhibiting. And that's what some of our fan base are exhibiting. Let's go and do this, let's go and do that, without thinking critically about the consequences of getting certain decisions wrong. So it's not as bad as a lot of you are projecting. It's 7 points out of 9. That is not excellent, but that is not poor. 2 wins out of 3, and 2 wins and 1 draw out of 3. It is not poor by any means, any stretch of imagination. It's not excellent, but it's not poor. So let's not overly react to these things. Let's not overly react. And I'm happy that Trossard is staying. That gives me a lot of joy, because selling Trossard at this time will not be great. He has rejected the move, and Arsenal have rejected the offer. So I am very, very happy. Did you hear him say he's not a reporter? I said 10. See, when you are desperate, you begin to say funny things. That's Ten Hag. He's so desperate, he's saying he's not a magician, he's not a reporter. He's so desperate. So when I heard those commentaries, I was just cracking up. But you can understand that when a man is desperate, he will throw everything, hoping that something will stick. So Ten Hag right now is throwing everything and is hoping that something will stick so he can keep his job. A lot of Manchester United fans and faithfuls, even the staunch defenders of Ten Hag, are beginning to lose faith in Ten Hag, which I can say, for me, you can't continue to be delusional to yourself and to the fans. We can all see through the BS. A lot of fans can see through Ten Hag's BS. The team is like, you are buying players who should be playing possession-based football, and you are playing counter-attacking football. Like Zegzi, right? I remember I told Mr. Foster the other day over the phone, like, he's a good player, but he cannot play Manchester United kind of football, which is counter-attack. So he's looking leggy and slow, because he doesn't suit his game style, doesn't fit in playing counter-attack. Or in comparison to when Arteta and Edu, we buy our players, they fit into our style. So it's very important you buy players for how you want to play. It is what it is. They should have brought 60 million for Trossard. That's how important. No, I want to take 60. Okay, if you take 60 million for Trossard, how do you replace him when the window is short? And guess what? Even though you take 60 million for Trossard, to replace him with like quality or better, you have to pay like 100 million. So it's not smart, trust me, to actually take 60 million for Trossard, because there's context to how we look at this thing. If you take 60 million for Trossard and you go to any other team in January, they want the whole 60 million and more. They want more than 60 million for a player that might not be as good as Trossard. So that when I talk about the fact that fans have to be very careful, because right now we're not producing excellent footballers like we did 20 years ago. That's just a fact. Most the people we are producing these days are just athletes, runners. As much as some of us as Arsenal fans do not overly rate Trossard, he's a very good player. I won't say the top class player, but he's an efficient player. If you take 60 million pounds for Trossard, how do you replace him in the market these days? How do you replace him? Because they know that we have 60 million. So anybody we are talking to wants the whole 60 million or 70 million or 80 million for a player that might not be as good as Trossard. So I ain't taking any money for Trossard right now, unless it comes to the summer and we can actually scout and get a very good player then you cannot decide to sell him. But taking 60 million, I don't agree with you. This spring, I see what you're trying to do, but look at it from that perspective of the fact that if you take that 60 million, how do you replace him? Imagine you take 60 million and you go to Brighton that you want Adingra. How much do you think Brighton will charge you? We know Brighton are notorious for being unreasonable in terms of selling players and negotiating for their players. Brighton will tell you they want 70 million, 80 million. So I won't take that, but I see your perspective. How I rate the different trophies: Champions League, as we've never won it, EPL 2, FA Cup 3, Carling Cup 4. Yeah, I see how you rate it. I think we can, if you look at it logically and objectively, I think the league is number one. Even people tell you it's the Champions League, it cannot be the Champions League. I understand the fact that we've not won Champions League, but like say how you rate it. So I respect your opinion. That's what you think. But if you look at it generally, the league is the biggest trophy, followed by the Champions League because it's continental, then the FA Cup and the Carling Cup. Because the league is 38 games playing against different people, home and away. You can see the new Champions League format, right? They want to make it as competitive as a league. So that's why it's like that. I think the league is always higher, but people will tell you, no, the Champions League, the Champions League can never be higher than your domestic league because you are playing 38 games. There is no way the Champions League is higher. Do not fall for the nonsense. I will argue with anybody. I have that debate with anybody, even with UEFA. There is no way the Champions League supersedes the league. Just because something is said popular, is made popular, doesn't mean legitimately is bigger in reality. The league is bigger than the Champions League. The reason why Arsenal fans overrate the Champions League is because we've not won it. And I mean, I want to win it, so I understand that context, but the league is always bigger than the Champions League. The strength or weakness of City should not be our concern. It should be. If you are going to fight somebody, you won't weigh your strength or weaknesses, because if you do not, how do you prepare for them? I understand you're trying to say we should just go to our strength. It's easier said than done. When in reality, you have to weigh the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent. That is why we have analysts. We go through videos, analyze our opponent before we play them. That's why the press conferences. And you don't tell me Arteta also analyze the oppositions we play every weekend. Come on, man. You can't be that arrogant not to look at the strengths and weaknesses of your competitor, because you will just be sucker punched figuratively if you do not look at the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent. That's a different level of arrogance to not be concerned with the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent. Now, it sounds good, but in real time and in real life, that is not the best way to look at things. We need to handle our games and win them. We got 1 point from us, while we got 4. They got 1 point from us, while we got 4. It's about getting it done against other teams. Yeah, but like I said, you have to get done with other teams. But at the same time, you have to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent. Very, very imperative. Extremely imperative. So, guys, any other question before we go? We've done 15 minutes. And shout out to D-Day Spring. Shout out to Ige Jeffrey, Aritz. Shout out to all of you for making it very interactive. Mr. Enfosa Edun. Shout out to all of you for spending your time here. We've been talking about the fact that we had 7 out of 9 points. That is not bad. That's not excellent. We should have done more, but that is not bad. Let's be fair. Guys, like the video. I have just 6 likes out of 11 people. Come on, guys. Like the video. It doesn't cost you more than 2 seconds. It doesn't cost you any money to like the video. So please like the video. If you're watching the playback, do not forget to like the video. Subscribe if you're new here. Very, very important. And make sure you turn on your notification bell. One more time, like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell. Very, very important. We've discussed the fact that Arsenal rejected the offer from Saudi for Trossard. We are not going to sell him. He's an important member of the squad. He has a long-term contract with us, so we are not going to sell him. Big up, brother. Shout out to you, Aris. I hope I'm pronouncing your name very well. I struggle with pronunciation of some certain names, so pardon me if I didn't get your name well. I call it Aritz. So sorry about that if I didn't pronounce it well. So shout out to you too, and big up to all of you and all my subscribers and all the naysayers, or those who disagree with me. See, I am not a fountain of knowledge that cannot be questioned. I can be disagreed with, provided we do it respectfully and we do it in good faith, and we can provide evidence to our conversation. I have not. See, I can send anybody want to come up. Maybe I can send a link for the last 10 minutes. Anybody want to come up and let's have a conversation. Let me see if I can drop the link in the chat section. Maybe one or two people want to come up. Let me see. Is that possible? What's wrong with this? What is wrong with this? Let me try one more time. So I just dropped the link in the comment section. So for anybody, one or two people who want to say anything regarding Trossard, regarding Arsenal, let me know what you have to say. So you can come up before we round up the stream. Because, like I said, and I'm going to reiterate it, it's not as bad as some people are making it out to be. It's just, we dropped 2 points. I was very disappointed. But look at the fact that Chris Kavanagh wanted to be the star man of the game. He wanted to headline the match. He wanted to be a douchebag. So there's nothing we can do regarding that. Yes, Rice should have behaved better. Rice should understand that most of the English referees, they know they can't be held accountable. The English referees cannot be held accountable, and there's nothing we can do to them until maybe the owners can do something. Because I smell a rat. The fact that almost all the top clubs are owned by Americans. And if this continue, see, the English Premiership, as much as the English guys, right, the pundits, the BBCs of this world, the Talksport of this world, think they have the impunity to talk anyhow and continue to defend the bad behaviors of the referee. The English Premiership is made this strong because of the impact of the foreigners. The foreign players make the English Premiership one of the best. The foreign eyeballs, right? People buying rights to watch it from Africa, from South America, from Asia, from other parts of Europe. So they have to make sure they behave themselves, because the more people begin to complain about the fact that these referees, the PGMO is not doing its job, someday I won't be surprised if the English or the American owners decide to wield their power. They might not decide to wield their power. They've been fillers and gossips of let's play 1 or 2 games in America. As much as they're against it, if this nonsense of bad officiating continues, trust me, they own the clubs. These guys own. Villa is owned by an American. Arsenal is owned by an American. Man United is owned by an American. Chelsea is owned by an American. Liverpool is owned by an American. Man City owned by the Arabs. There's a lot of I think Fulham is owned by an American. So Bolton is owned by Americans. There are a lot of American ownership. So they have to behave themselves. Do your job, or else somebody will do it for you. Since nobody's coming on, so guys, shout out to everybody that have made this stream a success, relative success. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for making it interactive. And if any breaking news breaks, I'll be back here to do a live show. There are pre-recorded content on the channel. Make sure you go watch them. And guys, do me that kind of thing. When you watch the pre-recorded content, do not forget to stick a like on the video. It helps the channel to grow, and it helps us in the algorithm. Very important when you watch the pre-recorded content to like the videos, because it helps the channel to grow, to reach out to more people, to more audience, and it helps us to reach more people. Like the videos and make sure you subscribe if you're new to this channel. So that'll be all for now. Keep supporting us like an Arsenal fan. If you're a fan of any other club, keep supporting your team. You can be tribalistic, doesn't mean we're enemies. It is what it is. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.